Okay, guys, it's super windy out here. Well, I guess it's not that bad. It's a little bit bad. But I wanted to come out here and look how pretty. It's been so stormy the last couple, or this whole week. Like, so windy you can't even be out here. Oh, the wind is picking up over there, but look at that. And check it out. I know I've mentioned Ryder before. That's well, he just turned 13, so the bus just came and got the kids. He's my nonverbal. He's nonverbal autistic, and OCD, and like he's really high on the spectrum. I gotta put Chevron down. I brought her out here so that she could. I didn't want to pack her whole body. Yes, I built that whole body for her. She's wearing a onesie stuffed with a bunch of my clothes. So sometimes I have to get in there to get some of my clothes back. So I just brought her head. And yes, it is the head from my head shop. When I had the head shop. When I sold jewelry for piercings and stuff. But anyway, so he, the other day, tapped me. I was watching him. And he tapped me on my back while I was talking to Serenity. And he said, Nana. And I was still talking to Serenity. It didn't like quite register. And then he tapped me again and he said louder, Nana. And me and Serenity both turned. That's the first time he's ever said that. Like, we turned and we just stared at him. And he didn't say anything, obviously, because he doesn't really talk. And so we were like, okay. So then I was all, are you hungry? And then I'll go make you some breakfast. So I made some eggs and toast. And we were sitting at the table. And I was listening to, this was Sunday, which was the day before yesterday. And I was listening to service. And we were eating breakfast. And about, 10, 20 minutes into service, he looked across the table at me and he said, all done. I was like, what is happening? Anyway, by the time the end of the day, after I babysat him for like 4 or 5 hours, he had said a total of 15 separate words. And I wrote those words down. This is my dog's footprints. Yeah, it's my dog's footprints. The ground is awfully soft for it being so cold out. Well, it snowed and then melted. Anyway, so he said like 15 words. He hasn't said a single word yet since Sunday. But Sunday he was talking up a storm, and my daughter and I were talking about, like why all of a sudden would he start talking when he's been in speech therapy, he's been in every kind of program possible since he was 2 years old. We started him at 2 because we knew something was wrong when he was like 6 months old. Look, there's the moon. We knew something was wrong when he was 6 months old. The doctors thought he was either deaf. Well, they thought he was deaf and blind. And, but over time, because they kept trying to figure out what was wrong with him, by the time he was like 2, they knew he was extreme autism, like extreme. And, so we've had him in all kinds of programs and things like that. And he's never really, like, he won't do sign language. He won't use the tablet to communicate. He will not communicate other than touch your arm and touch what he wants. Or, try to touch what he wants. That's his way of communication. So for him to say 15 clear, solid words and they match the actions that he was trying to display to me, my daughter and I think maybe what's happening is he's come to an age, he just turned 13, where he's getting bored with the things that we do provide him with, the things that he did show interest with. We think he's getting bored And now he's like using communication as a form to try to tell us in a way that he's bored. But he hasn't said anything since, so it's just random sometimes. Like, he'll start doing something randomly. So we're gonna try to we're gonna get together with this teacher and try to think of what we can do, like, to move forward, because he's bored with coloring, he doesn't play with toys, he does have an obsession with sharks, and he's had that obsession since he was around 6 months old. He wouldn't go to sleep without this shark. So, I don't know. Oh, look at the sky, though. Is this crazy this morning? It looks so beautiful. And it's not that cold. I mean, it's a little windy, but it's not, like, horribly cold. It was so windy that I couldn't be out here at all. I haven't really even checked on anything. Doesn't look like anything's, like, really blown over. That Eiffel Tower sure stays, which I did not think it was going to, so now I can actually buy a light and put it on top of it because it's not going to blow over. Because we've had such strong winds, like, so strong it was bowing my garage door, and it was freaking me out. So, you know, like, it was coming on strong. And then I had to go to town yesterday to take Lucky to the vet. Not Brucifer, but Lucky, the other pit. He did something to his eye, so we had to go get some eye stuff for him from the vet, and so we'll see what happens. And there wasn't any snow in Lapine or anything, so that was good. Today I think I'm going to go over to Christmas Valley. I need to get some stuff for the kids as snacks for school. All I had left today was crackers, so I gotta go get some. My daughter's gonna be at work, so I'm gonna do it. I haven't really done anything lately because it's just been so windy. I can't be out like this, you know. 15 to 19 mile an hour wind is fine, but anything over that, it pushes me around, and I've been tossed in a ditch one too many times from the wind, so I tend to not try to mess with wind, because wind is not pleasant to me. It's my natural born enemy. I think so. I've tried to be friendly with it, but, you know, it just doesn't go. But look at that sky. How pretty. How pretty, 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 pretty. Yep, so that was my big news, is that my autistic grandson, 13-year-old, just randomly started talking to me on Sunday all day. And I was like, okay. So that was super exciting. And 15 words. And that was cool. Oh, and one of his words, Krisha said, because if you ask him, we're trying to teach him where is he from, even though we know he probably won't say it. They still try to teach him it. You know, you live in Silver Lake, Oregon. And it's so important that we teach him that, because he is nonverbal. But if he could, you know, at least memorize where he lives, Silver Lake, Oregon, then, or like maybe eventually someday he'll be able to write it, because he does write his name. And he can copy, like if you make a small word, he can, like, trace that word. But he can write his own name. So we're, like, hoping one day that he will, you know, at least be able to write Silver Lake, Oregon, just in case. But it was funny because his teacher was asking him, where are you from, Ryder? And she's trying to show him a picture of Silver Lake and then the picture of Oregon, the shape of Oregon. And I guess he looked up at her and said, America. And she said, well, she was like, what? He literally said America. He didn't say America. She said he said America. And he's not wrong. So they don't want to like tell him that he's not wrong, even though he didn't point to Silver Lake, Oregon. But for him to even be vocal in any aspect, because he's not vocal at all, she was like, oh my goodness. So I don't know, that part was funny. We were like, oh my gosh, is he like a redneck? Like, is he gonna have like an accent? But when he said those 15 random words to me, they were not, he sounded like Landon. Like he had the same kind of voice as Landon, is how I, perceived it. Like what I was hearing is he sounded like Landon did when Landon was like 11, 12, 13. And Landon's 14. He's only like a year. He's just barely a year older than his brother. A year and a half, maybe. Like Landon's almost 15. But when he was younger, that's what Ryder sounds just like his brother. It's so crazy. Anyway, I wanted to share that because it was overwhelming and exciting. And like we had prayed for so long and we've had like hope, and then sometimes we think we hear him say something and then it's not. And, so we've had a lot of disappointment and struggles with it, but this was something completely different. And I'm so glad that it happened, because I know that even though that it only happened yesterday, or not yesterday, before yesterday, Sunday, that it will happen again. It may take a long time, like another year, unfortunately, but I'm hoping not. But he can say those words. I heard him say those words. I know that it's a possibility that he's going to speak in the future. And it'll be really exciting for my daughter to be able to hear him say mom. And that will be like so cool, because it was really cool when he said Nana. I was like, not once, but he did it twice. And it was very clear, and there was no gibberish in between. He was silent, and then he was like, Nana. And then a couple seconds later, because I didn't really, I was kind of like in shock, not sure what I heard. And then he said it in a stronger, louder voice, Nana. And I turned and was like, no way. And you don't want to like freak out, because you don't want to scare the situation. But oh my goodness, like I was flipping out on the inside. All right, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you for watching, and how exciting. All right, bye.